Guys, you guys want to say hi to YouTube? Hola, YouTube. ¿Cómo están? Hey, welcome on in. I hope you guys are having fun. We're about to do another like music analysis react because right now chat is voting between Vinland Saga Gundam and Kakegurui. I thought it would be a Kakegurui suite, but apparently they're going for Vinland. It is what it is. It is what it is. They might not get Vinland. They might get something else. It'd be what it be. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and analyze. That could be a Constellation. It's a 4 minute song. Let's go ahead and break it down and see what's next. Hold on. That is such a dark lyric. Hold on. Wait. Bochi is phenomenal, Naked Neko. I really think you should go ahead and try it out. So, I know that this is not what they're referencing. They're just trying to go ahead and be a soul in the middle of the night type of thing. But specifically, what I was going to touch on is, did y'all know that there's a concept called Into the Void? Where it's like you might be doing whatever, and then all of a sudden you start thinking of like just completely disappearing off the face of the earth, or like stepping into oncoming traffic, or random scenarios like that where you might be happy, but yet, like, say, moments of despair, moments of your internal thoughts start coming out into, like, the forefront of your mind, so it starts taking over a lot of your cognitive processes and stuff like this. And it's usually in scenarios like that, right? So that's why I'm listening to the song, and I'm like, the fact that honestly Bochi is my new go-to anime recommendation in general. Yeah, because you don't need a lot of tropes to be able to go and recommend Bochi. But talking about this, my number one thing that I'm listening and that I'm paying attention to is like, at 6 p.m., I'm assuming she just got out of school. She's stepping in the shadows, wanting to disappear into the night on my way home. To be honest, how open was that, dude? Like, for a majority of people, once school was out, did you have to keep that mask on? Even if you wore a mask at school. And how was it if you're an introvert to get to go back to your safe space? Because home for a lot of people, it is what it is. That's your safe space, right? Or like their room or something. So this is interesting, because if you put this two together, how often do society shines on individuals who are extroverted and are able to make friends and so on and so forth, right? And for me, like, just if we're reading this from like Bochi's perspective, right? Hold on, I'm muting this. Just no, I'll always be alone. If only you and I could come together to form a constellation. Let's back it up. Back it up just a little bit. Yep. Shining so bright from 100 millions, you're so lucky. You're loved by everyone. Right. No, I'll always be alone. Yeah, but in a perspective like this, and I do have a weird theory I'll get into at the very end. The weird theory is not going to go on YouTube. Not weird theory, but more like sad theory, I guess, per se, or sad aspects of certain things. But in a situation like this, right? Like, what it how did, for example, Bochi get a lot of her affection during this period of time, right? Virtually, if we're gonna be straight up, right? The comment sections, which granted, sometimes I'll be very open about this. Sometimes the comment section can either be wonderful, can be a great boost of like, you're doing great, I like your content, whatever. Other times it can be absolutely just terrible, like legit harmful towards like mental health and whatnot. And for Bochi, right, for that being the source of like I guess, dopamine release for a long time, which is why she kept uploading her videos and whatnot. Yeah, you can totally see stuff like that, you know. And I'm sort of wondering, and this is an aspect where you guys can separate it from this, which is how would it be like for Bochi to, like, imagine if there was only negative comments in those comments for Bochi. How would she react to situations like that? How easily influenced well, you know, because granted, she gets a compliment, she's like, she smiles bright, and you know, she does what needs to be done because she got a compliment, right? But how did, like, how, and I hate to put it this way, how much do you think those comments would have an impact on her? For example, right? And I guess this is gonna get a little personal. On some of the Bochi videos, there's been some disgusting comments on there where it's like, "Oh, you're not white, you can't be a psychologist, you can't be a therapist. Oh, you know, you pre-watched this even though you guys were the ones that chose the show at random, you know, with all the other anime. Oh, this person blah 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 blah, just literally like deteriorating or trying to go ahead and target my looks, so on and so forth, not because of the context that's in it, but just because of their inability to grasp, or sometimes, you know, the fact that, like, certain stuff is really out there. Like, you know, for example, if using psychological concepts a good way a psychologist should, you should be able to, like, go ahead and start, like, analyzing these characters and making predictions and doing certain things at a natural rate. Is this expected of everybody? No, right? Because not everyone is trained in sociological and psychological theories and how to implement them in personnels. But seeing a lot of those personal attacks, man, at sometimes it fucking hurts, dude. Sometimes just listening in and seeing some of this stuff, it's like, well, what the fuck? Like, all of this is done for mental health purposes to help others grow, or for people that relate to some of these characters to be able to go ahead and, like, take that step, you know. And so that's what I'm saying is, like, sometimes you can see the extroverted individuals that can make a shit ton of friends in real life, and you can see them as that star, as that connection point where you're like, huh, you know, you have a lot of people that love you, you have a lot of things. It might be a little bit of, like, even like jealousy or something in like inwards, where you see some of your friends that might be extremely extroverted and might be able to go to make so many friends, and it's like, wow, if only I could be there in those steps, but yet I'm still taking my first step towards self-improvement. And that's why I'm like, huh, sorry guys, sorry if that got a little deep, a little dark. Oh, thanks, God. Also, 2 hours have passed in this song. Soon the clock will be 8 o'clock. I just joined from Norway, but I don't know what I just joined. The high flops. We're analyzing Bochi the Rock, a song, and we're sort of talking about the mental health aspects of it. How you doing? I hope you're doing well, flops. I hope you're having a good day, and also, yeah, goedemorgen. I hope you're doing well. Or good morning, good afternoon, good evening. For, you know, hope you're having fun in Norway. How did you find? Yeah. What I was gonna say is 2 hours have already passed, and she's already started to ponder this. For you guys, though, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there to you. How do you view yourself? Are you guys introverts or are you guys extroverts? And have you ever wondered what you as an extrovert or as an introvert would look like? You know, what would the opposite version of you, you know, look like? If you're introverted, what would an extrovert version of you look like? You know, do you feel as though you'd be comfortable in that position or no? What does your ideal version of yourself look like without going into introvert very close friends? Yeah. You know, a lot of people like to say introverts don't have friends, but that's a lie. Introverts do have friends. Introverts have a close knit of friends. You know, you select your friends. So that's a main question I want to throw out there, because a lot of people idealize society, even idealizes the extroverts, right, as the individuals that shine, individuals that get attention, and so on and so forth. So a lot of people, especially a lot of the teenagers that I work with, That's sort of what they're always striving for, which is like this person's an extrovert. They have so many friends, they have so many people that connect with, but at the same time, how many of those people are genuinely their friends? How many people can you genuinely connect with and be vulnerable with and know a lot about them or genuinely count them as a friend without feeling overburned? I'm an extreme introvert. Yeah, you know. For example, some people, yeah, quality over quantity. But even through that, right? Because as you grow up, guess what? Like, say you have a lot of friends in high school. Yeah, say you have a lot of friends in high school, and you graduate, and college starts, and your paths start diverging. If you might have 100 friends, but if you haven't made 100 genuine connections, how many of them are genuinely going to reach out and talk to you? I think I'm in the middle of an introvert and extrovert. I used to think that I'm just an introvert because I'm awkward and stuff, but I do enjoy being outside and talking to fellas. I'm just not good at it. Yeah, but it's also about like the way that we communicate, right? Because for example, communication has changed quite a lot to Discord, Snapchat, and so on and so forth, right? Like there's been big changes that have started to happen in the ways that we communicate and the ways that we reach out to others. And that's why when I'm talking about friends, for example, who do you have around you that's like a genuine close friend? I'm not gonna count the people that I work with. I love them to death, but they're coworkers and they're not my friends. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love coming on and doing stuff on Twitch, right? But it's hard to see you guys like face to face, whatever, right? Like, I don't know how to describe this other than like, in a weird way, I think Bochi, even the Bochi songs that we've heard up to now, they all hit on different beats of like connection, of attachments and relationships, and the importance of them. You know, people will always try and emphasize different elements as to like what is important to go ahead and like hit on, but hey, the relationships, the attachments that we make define a lot about ourselves, right? Because we learn off of them and we start learning, for example, even the rules of play as a little kid, even like our parents and our caregivers as attachments. That's sort of how we learn how to cry in case we're hungry, or if we cry enough, maybe our parents are going to come and give us food, or you know what, maybe I don't have to cry and maybe they'll feed me beforehand, or we start learning different survival mechanisms even as a tiny little baby, to start seeing different ways that we can connect and be understood by others. And for me, this can't be a more perfect Bochi song of connection, because that's what the show is. At the end of the day, people might spin it as like, oh, everyone's going through their own journey, which it is. But this is like, if we bring it down to the core, this is a show about connection and how music can bring us together, straight up. And you can put in like how you deal with like mental health elements and so on and so forth, right? Because it expands off of that. But this is such a Bochi song that I'm like, yeah, yeah. This is Bochi's song to its core, yeah. But I want to go ahead and state this. Hey, I fucking love Bochi the Rock. I will stand behind it 110% and literally debate anyone from any of the psychological concepts about this, right? Because you have a lot of individuals that go out there and they don't really show any evidence behind a lot of what they're talking about. brought from different ecological theories, Maslow's, whatever, right? This show can help a lot of people understand themselves and understand sort of what anxiety, being on the spectrum, 101 other aspects looks like without needing to introduce other tropes of anime for it to be understood, right? And going through this, I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys this homework. Yeah, just straight up. If you guys want a better tool of understanding yourself, an aspect of this is understanding why you feel certain ways, right? And I know I've given this homework in other ones, but literally, start an emotion journal, dude. An emotion based journal where you write down big moments of anxiety, big moments of tiredness, fear, anger, whatever that may be, and you know, and you write down the event that happened and what time and what caused it, right? So that's all four things that you just got to write down for any big moment. You can even write down a day summary if you really want to. It will help you understand the cycle of what may be some of your triggers, how to avoid them, what might help, you know. And that's my main thing when I'm throwing stuff like this out there, right? A big tool for everything that we talk about is a tool for you to be able to go ahead and understand yourself and even like ask questions. Why do we make friends? What are the friends that I have real friends, or they're just acquaintances at the moment? What does it mean for me to actually understand that, hey, I'm very similar to Bochi? Hey, in Bochi episode 4, we did the Rads R test, right? Or is it episode 4, something like that. If I see myself a lot in Bochi, hey, may I be on the spectrum as well? You know? Do I see that, like, there's a lot of social and communication aspects that, like, I'm struggling with, you know? Yeah. You forgot to do the homework, JQ? Ooh, I'm gonna give you an F. Ooh. But that's the main thing that I'm throwing this stuff out there is like a lot of the things that we talk about are grounding techniques, informative techniques that we do while watching the show, and it's quite literally can be some of the most helpful advice that if taken and applied properly might help you start growing and blossoming into the individual that you wish to be. The ideal self that you're looking for starts by taking one step at a time. And for some people, whenever they see psychologist or the actual anime therapist, like watching a show or whatever, it brings fear. It brings senses of fear because in a way, it's holding up a mirror onto yourself. And if you see yourself in some of these characters, what does that mean for you? With that being said, though, hey, I can't say it enough, dude. I fucking love Bochi. I'll go fucking toe to toe against anyone for this show. It is absolutely amazing. I can go ahead and state it time and time again. Um, I can state it time and time again. Uh, I hope that you guys practice some self care. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. Join us on Twitch. We do this every Friday and Sunday, and we'll see you guys later.